need to do? Answer this. Should I skip Eula? Go straight to the right Shogun? Yeah, go straight for Eula. Then the Spindrift shall never return to the sea. Who? Who the hell is a Spindrift? I know Eula, she's just not important to anything like at all. Okay, let's do our quest. She's not important. Move on. Alright, what do we got here? What's going on?
Thank you for coming on such short notice, Honorary Knight. I know you must be busy.
Thank you for coming on such short notice, Cliché.
Well, to make a long story short, there's a particular matter at hand that the Knights requires your assistance with.
In other words, to reword everything, you gotta come see this, Cliché.
Yes, it has been one thing after another recently. Neither myself nor any of the Mondstadt garrison are able to catch a moment of peace.
Why is there more stuff you have to do, and why can't you make sure there's not too much for you to do it?
I have recently received multiple reports from the Knights of someone within the Lawrence clan having close dealings with the Fatui.
Who the hell is the Lawrence clan, and why should I care?
The Fatui? Again?
What do you expect, Paimon? It's always going to be something to do with the Fatui at some point.
But who are the Lawrence clan?
Exactly, and why wasn't that your first question?
There was a dark period in Mondstadt's history when the aristocracy ruled over the city. The hard-won freedom that followed with the fall of Decorabian was lost once again, as slavery spread throughout the land.
The land was ruled by rich people, and somehow slavery was reinstated. That's what happens when you lose democracy for 1 second.
The first Dandelion Knight, Vanessa, spearheaded the revolution that overthrew the old aristocratic system and established the Knights of Favonius, leading Mondstadt to become the city that you see today.
So you gotta overthrow the aristocracy again, and you're starting to think that something might be happening again, similar to that.
The aristocrats that had oppressed the people of Mondstadt were none other than the Lawrence clan. Okay, the Lawrence clan wanting to deal with the Fatui. Okay, maybe they're like, maybe we should bring back aristocracy, says the Lawrence clan.
Oh, Paimon gets it! So the clan's descendants are now scheming with the bad guys to carry out more dubious deeds.
Right, that's one way of saying it.
We suspect as much, though we have yet to obtain any solid evidence. The reason I summoned you here today is to ask you to help us further investigate this matter.
Well, why, yes. Even though we're kind of special in every single way.
Unfortunately, the Knights of Favonius and the aristocracy have been at odds with one another for as long as I can remember. We've already considered every possible way of resolving our differences, but it seems the descendants of the aristocracy remain antagonistic towards the Knights.
Because they want to do their own thing, and they don't want to be ruled by anybody, and they want to go back to aristocracy and reinstate slavery again.
No matter what stance we take when dealing with them, the outcome is always the same. Our efforts only result in adding more fuel to the flames.
I really feel like it's just more than the Knights dealing with an aristocracy. It's just like, oh god, it almost sounds like a family situation where anything you deal with just makes things worse. So, it feels like you're dealing with a whole other political situation at that point.
We could come knocking on their door on the grounds of a search warrant, but if the investigation were to come up empty, I'm afraid tensions and distrust would only increase. All of our past efforts would have been wasted.
I technically also belong to the Knights.
You are in fact the best candidate to represent the Knights of Favonius.
Really? Even though I just came and wanted to defeat a dragon, that's it, and you're like, you're the best person for the job.
But you need not emphasize your role as the honorary knight. You're a traveler from a distant land, and you can approach the aristocrats in this way.
Really? Are you asking me to be a double agent?
Once you come to friendly terms with the Lawrence clan, you should be in a good position to learn more of their possible connections with the Fatui.
Whoa! Leave it to Master Jean to come up with such a thorough plan.
Wait, that's not
Perhaps
thorough.
such plans have become second nature after all the diplomatic issues I've dealt with.
I've dealt with a lot of important things, so trust me when I say I know how to deal with it.
The name of the Lawrence clan member in question is Schubert. Lately, he can often be found strolling near the northern city walls.
Uh-huh.
It is said that he is difficult to get along with due to his temperamental disposition, but if we approach him calmly, then things should go off without a hitch.
Oh god, wait, I feel like we are dealing with the political situation, especially with one who is easily prone to emotional outbursts.
Thanks again for your help. If you run into any snags along the way, I'll do anything in my power to support you.
Yeah, but what if that raises tensions along the way? Then what? Okay, I feel like we're gonna get caught up into a bunch of things. Okay. Someone was like, I shouldn't trust either person. Hello?
Huh? Who are you?
Some random person walking by.
Hello, we're here too.
He's gonna get emotionally upset.
Hello?
Hello.
Did I hear you correctly? Hello?
Yes?
Huh. And I suppose you think that you can simply strut up here and greet me in such an ignoble and vulgar manner?
There's nothing ignoble and vulgar about saying hi to somebody unless you have a better idea of greeting.
Given that I don't recognize you, I can only assume that you are a traveler of some variety. I'll have you know that you are speaking with the Schubert Lawrence, a blood descendant of the magnanimous nobility.
Uh-huh.
If you wish to address me, you'd best consider your words more carefully. Such nonchalant manners are inadmissible and will never do.
Okay.
Now, if you're somehow capable of understanding anything I've said, then you will get down on your knees, apologize for your negligent actions, and give me a proper introduction. That is the appropriate etiquette.
Yeah, but what if there are people who don't know who you are, and you're just getting people to fall on their knees for no reason? Then what?
That's etiquette? Paimon's never heard of something so complicated before.
Huh. In former times, when people knew their place and respected traditions, such conduct was only basic courtesy when greeting a nobleman.
Yeah, well, times change, and sometimes you gotta get along with it.
And neglecting your manners would result in a swift whipping.
Yeah, well, what? Nobles are so last year. Nobles are so last decade and last centuries, and I don't know, neglecting manners would result in a swift whipping. I don't know. Does the punishment fit the crime, or is it just how you feel at the time? It just causes more trouble than that. And also, doesn't the idea of whipping it's more of a problem than just the resulting manners?
Look at the world now. Rules have been thrown to the wayside and manners forgotten. I cannot bear to see such degradation.
I'm pretty sure not all manners have degraded, but it's just like, yeah, everything is not perfect! Why is it not perfect? It sounds like such a hassle to me.
What did you say? You dare question the dignity of the nobility?
Oh my god, why does everything have to be a character question? How come it's like, oh, well, it sounds like it is a bit of a hassle. Oh, but you're questioning the character of something.
I'll have you know that though the Lawrence clan is in decline, myself and others of noble blood are looking for a chance to restore our rightful honor.
By what?
Just look around. The people are unruly and undisciplined. I, however, strive to retain the elegance and etiquette of the nobility. After all, we are of a completely different breed by birth.
I haven't said anything yet, and you're already offended. Like, I might look at something, I might pick it apart left and right, but usually I go about it logically. This person is trying to find every excuse to be offended. So, usually when I go about it, I get some substance. But you're like, oh, there's no manners. You're unruly. No.
Save your words. I find your manners and bearing repulsive. I have nothing to discuss with the likes of you. Besides, I am in no way obligated to instruct commoners on basic courtesies.
Really?
Now I have more pressing matters to attend to. I'll take my leave.
Okay. He got mad the second I looked at him.
This is what Master G meant by difficult to get along with.
Yeah, because they don't want to. Because there are some people who just want to be offended because they get the feeling that, oh, they should bow down to me and put themselves down because they see themselves...
Let's head back and talk things over with her.
Dealing with the aristocracy, where they feel like they're victims all the time.
Well, if it isn't the honorary knight. I'm just on my way out to gather some intel. I didn't expect to run into you here.
I didn't expect to see you here, Cliché.
Huh? Judging by your expression, you must have run into some trouble.
That's not trouble. That's someone who's like, I'm a victim. You should bow down to me.
Master Jean tasked us with a special assignment, but things seem to have run aground.
No need to get down on yourself. Sometimes things just don't turn out as planned. Even I can't guarantee useful intel every time I'm dispatched.
I don't know. Like, I get the idea, like, meeting a nobleman who gets offended every single time, but when I feel like you say that, I'm wondering to myself, I don't know, I feel like you might need to work on that, but that's just me.
You just have to keep at it and never give up.
Fine.
Hey, why don't you let me try to help? What's the problem?
Rich guy is offended.
Master Jean asked us to build a connection with someone named Schubert Lawrence, but it turns out that he's a peculiar character that doesn't listen to anyone, especially Paimon.
Aha, Schubert! I know him. Let me guess. He said you didn't have any manners.
Sounds like you're no stranger to his rants.
I've been on the receiving end of his lectures many a time. The Lawrence clan can be very particular about such things.
You mean everyone in the Lawrence clan is just a big headache?
As aristocrats, they believe there should be a certain distance between themselves and common folk. I understand their thinking, but that's just not how things are anymore.
Yeah, well, how come their thinking just keeps continuing when it's not gonna work?
However, there is one exception among the Lawrence clan. My good buddy, Eula.
Okay.
Buddy?
That's right. Not only is she from the Lawrence clan, but she's also captain of the Knights of Favonia's 4th company.
So we are going to be dealing with the double agent, but not the kind that we think. Someone who's usually both sides.
Eula is special. She's not quite like the other members of her clan. She has her own beliefs and it shows. In other words, she doesn't really adhere to the strict rules and conventions of her family.
So she works outside of the family.
However, she's still quite knowledgeable about dealing with the Lawrences. I'm sure you'll see what I mean if you meet her.
That's strange. If Eula is a member of the Lawrence clan, then why would Master Jean choose us for the task? Couldn't she just ask Eula?
Good point. So, why? Yeah.
Well, it's a little complicated. Basically, the Lawrence clan has frowned upon the fact that Eula joined the Knights. Her family members don't particularly care for her. In their eyes, Eula is nothing but a traitor to the family.
Aren't all children in some political fashion traitor to their family? Especially when they don't always look up to their parents?
She's very easy to get along with. Just explain the situation, and I'm sure she'll help you come up with a way to get along with Schubert.
Oh, God. Alright, fine.
In fact, I think she's out in the wilderness on patrol this morning. You should be able to find her around Stormbear Mountains.
Fine.
Samber? Alright, you heard.
Good luck, you two. I've got my own matters to investigate.
Oh, God.
Who would have guessed the Knights have a member of the Lawrence clan?
Uh-huh.
What?
Alright, no, map. There, where? I don't know. Here. Here.
The Fatui? What are they doing here?
They're here.
Why Eula was
Just
sent on
reasons.
patrol here?
Yes.
Let's fight first and talk later.
Fight first and talk later. What? Ooh. Got you! Eula's gonna pop out? Really? Okay, she just popped out of nowhere.
You don't think twice before reaching for your sword, do you? Do you have any idea how long I've been tracking these targets?
No, and second of all, why would I need to know?
And now you get to stake a claim. You think you're stronger because you got to them first? Mark my words, vengeance will be mine.
You're like a Franziska von Karma character in a Genshin Impact game who's got a lot of pride about them.
What?
And for those who didn't get it the first time, it's a Phoenix Wright character from the second Phoenix Wright game. If you, Patrick, just show a couple clips to give everybody an idea of who Franziska von Karma is.
That's right. I heard the commotion and came as swiftly as I could, only to find you two already fighting the Fatui. Not only that, you are making quick work of them too.
Yes. So why would you have any question of whatever staked claim I have in them?
If I didn't make my move, you would have been able to take all the credit.
Oh, okay. That's the point. You taking all the credit.
Still, I'm glad you're unscathed. Confronting that number of Fatui at once can be dangerous.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Byron doesn't understand what you mean, but thanks for your concern.
It's a pride thing. And I'm not talking about, like, LGBT pride. I'm talking about real pride. Where it's like, you think you're better than me, pride?
Concern? Why would I be concerned for the safety of my arch enemies?
Arch enemies? Oh, great. Just like Schubert, we're already on this person's bad side here.
Arch enemies? Wait a minute. You were saying how glad you were that we were unscathed a second ago.
Yeah, probably because now she wants to use us at a later time.
By which I meant, if you were injured, I'd have to escort two strangers guilty of stealing my targets all the way back to Mondstadt. Which would mean you'd cause me even more trouble. My vengeance would be swifter still.
Right, again, you're offended.
Huh? So that's how you see all this?
So you must be Eula.
Yes, that's me.
Hyman thinks she's pretty strange. Although at least we can communicate with her.
You dare to call someone you've just met strange? Forget the aristocracy. That's rude even by normal standards.
Oh my god. I don't know how to deal with someone who always wants to be offended. Like, you're always going to be offended no matter what. People are going to say shit to your face that you don't like. So deal with it.
Speaking of which, how do you know my name?
Because Amber mentioned you.
This is the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius. And speaking of rude, we're trying to investigate an aristocrat named Schubert Lawrence. He's so obsessed with etiquette that he's not even willing to speak with us.
Says the person who's also obsessed with claims that they're putting us down like the same person who's obsessed with etiquette.
I understand now. That's my uncle, all right.
And the Sunsetia does not fall far from the tree. Oh look, there's some over to the right now, shining it over to the right of the screen.
But why do you mean to investigate him?
Because I'm wondering if he's connected to the Fatui.
I see. You have some nerve to faming a family member right in front of me. I will have vengeance for this too.
Right.
No. This is an assignment from Master Jean. It's just an investigation, that's all.
Are you worried for your uncle?
To the everyday citizens of Mondstadt, everyone in the Lawrence clan is scum. It's natural for rumors and unwarranted gossip to lead to such suspicion.
Yeah, well, what happens if one of them is true? Then what?
Hard to avoid such a reputation when you're known as the ruthless rulers of Old Mondstadt.
Oh, so that's what you think of me? Yet another transgression to avenge.
He's like, I'm offended. Oh my god, she plays defense so much, I feel like everybody's at some point is going to play offense.
What? Didn't you say it first? Oh.
Curious. We've only just met, and you've already given me 3 causes for vengeance. It's been a while since I've encountered anyone as interesting as you.
Yeah, well, if you've ever followed me around and you've dealt with how I handle things, you're gonna find infinite causes for vengeance. But that's just me.
I assume you need me to teach you the conduct of the Lawrence clan. Only then will you finally be able to communicate with my uncle, correct?
Yes.
That's right. Amber told us to come and talk to you.
Well then, let's begin your training immediately. It'll be easier to train when we're back in Mondstadt. We'll require other people.
Are you plotting vengeance against us?
We can put that aside for now. Besides, if it's the acting Grandmaster's assignment, and Amber's the one who recommended me, I should comply.
Right. Oh god.
Paimon's confused. This girl's all vengeance this and revenge that. But she doesn't seem the least bit angry.
Maybe. I don't know if it's like she's slightly different from her uncle, or maybe she's trying to
Still,
play both ways.
Paimon has met bigger weirdos before.
Funny how that word, weirdo, is coming up again.
Ah, you finally arrived. There's no time to spare, so we'll begin with our first lesson.
Wait, hold on. There's something we need to clear up first. Otherwise it'll keep bugging us.
You won't take revenge, will you?
So that's still on your mind, huh? Maybe you're the ones who can't let things go.
Yeah, well, you're the one who said it first, so yeah.
Don't worry, there's a time and place for exacting vengeance. Besides, I'm not in the mood for any right now. Best save it for later.
You need to be in the right mood for vengeance.
I already have a long list of vengeance to exact. Even if I wanted to begin now, I'd have to start in the right order.
Right. What happens if there's no way you can do it in the right order? Then what?
Who knows how long it will be before I get to you?
Well, if you have so much to take care of, wouldn't it just be easier to give us a clean slate?
God, like the idea of her having a long list of vengeance. I'm already thinking, oh, she's got a shit list. She's got a shit list and everybody's on it.
Absolutely not. Stealing my targets, calling me a ruthless ruler, and suspecting my uncle. All worthy of vengeance in my eyes.
And what happens if all the accusations are true? Can you really say they're not worthy of vengeance when it's based on reality?
But you needn't worry, at least not whilst we're investigating this matter. I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase, a man of moral integrity fears no slanderous attack.
Yeah, so do you fear that we don't have any moral integrity? Or are you just assuming we don't and then basing vengeance on that?
If Uncle Schubert didn't commit any wrongdoing, then any such investigation will prove fruitless.
Yeah, well, what if he is offended for no reason? Isn't that its own wrongdoing?
But if he did commit a wrongful act, then he should bear the full punishment. I'm sure you understand.
Sort of. The idea that if actions and claims, like if someone does something bad, they should deserve the punishment, that sort of thing, but I feel like we're just assuming punishment first before character.
Good. Now, there are two key points that aristocrats attach great importance to. Your manner of speech and your bearing. Let's begin with your manner of speech. Aristocrats have a very unique way of carrying conversation, even with mundane daily topics.
Oh, Paimon's already learned some unique conversation. Mark my words, vengeance will be mine!
Oh god. Oh god. I feel like Patrick is gonna make fun of this a lot, and I've heard of this before. I think you may have shown this to me before, Patrick, so I'll just move on with that. Also, the idea of Paimon as someone who has vengeance, is she even capable of it? Who knows? Yeah, Eula's expression says it all.
Not even close. And besides, it sounds strange.
Hey! Paimon learned it from you! And didn't you say not to call others strange?
Yeah, well, I feel like there should be a development of character here rather than just, baseless accusations. But at the same time, Paimon does have a point.
It seems you don't respect the rules of your own clan.
No, I've no need to trouble myself with such frivolous formalities. Here, allow me to demonstrate. For example, when greeting a friend, you could say, "As the morning dew greets the coming dawn, so do I greet you, my dear friend."
So, it's a poetry thing, with a little bit more than that. I guess it's a little different from the simple word hello, because it doesn't have anything else to it.
As the morning
As the morning dew greets the coming dawn, so I greet you, my friend. It's like connecting two things to another.
However, such a phrase may only be used during the morning hours. Also, the party with whom you're speaking must be of approximately the same status as you. Morning dew is not uncommon, so it expresses that friendship should not be measured by value, yet also suggests that friendship between aristocrats is pure like water.
That's a whole other thing right there, the idea of, like, I get friendship is pure, but it's like, there's also an implication of unsulliedness. Like, it's like, you're cutting out everything, and, I don't know, the idea of pureness just has a dark side to it.
Oh, no. You must be prudent with your words. Calling someone a good friend could easily offend them.
Because it's too short? Or it's like the idea of good friend is not connected to something else? Or it doesn't allow anybody to, like, connect it to morning dew or something like that?
But didn't you just say my dear friend in your example? Hyman's confused.
Maybe.
Yes, I did. But you must know in the Lawrence family, dear friend is a set phrase that can only be used towards certain friends with whom one is acquainted, but not particularly close.
Difference between dear friend and good friend. Subtle differences.
It sounds much more pleasant to call an acquaintance a dear friend. So, another thing to remember. Aristocrats are concerned with face and being polite. However, if you were to use dear friend to address an intimate friend, the recipient would think that you were deliberately trying to estrange them.
Because dear friend is seen as someone who's close but not too close, because it's out of character. I guess I'm trying to understand the idea of character and language, and character and language are so entangled in the language of aristocrats.
This is only the first step in making a greeting. After addressing one another, you then exchange courtesies.
Wait! This is all too abstract.
Yeah. Unfortunately, aristocrats do work under the language of the abstract and just work from one thing to another. Like morning dew and dear friend.
Perhaps it would be better if you gave some real-life demonstrations.
What if it wasn't better?
Very well. Come with me. We'll choose some bystanders to converse with.
Oh, God. I feel like this might go under. Who's our next victim?
Oh, you're Eula of the Lawrence clan, right? This can't be good.
You there, lowly laborer. You stand in the presence of a member of the illustrious Lawrence clan. I have words for you.
Yes, you do.
Please acknowledge the glory bestowed upon thee by the nobility... what comes next? Oh, right. By solemnly kneeling to the ground with utmost sincerity.
He's not gonna do it.
Huh? I can't make heads or tails of anything you're saying.
Hold on. What did they always teach me?
Even you don't understand what was said.
Whenever a dispute arises, protection of your family's prestige and dignity always takes precedence.
Really? So even you don't understand the language you've been brought on.
Got it. As a lowly commoner, you shall maintain absolute reverence when speaking with those under which you so graciously toil. How dare you speak in such a manner?
Is everyone from the Lawrence clan so strange? The days of the Lawrence clan's tyranny have long passed. I don't care what you're trying to do, just beat it.
You're just giving us a demonstration, that's all.
Like I said, I don't care what you're doing. I have nothing to say to any member of the Lawrence clan. And here's a word of advice. I wouldn't be caught dead walking too closely with any one of their like in Mondstadt. If that's all, I'll be going. I'm afraid I won't be able to control myself if we talk any longer.
Hey! Don't leave! Halt! Mark my words, vengeance will be mine!
So she doesn't really mean vengeance in any of the conversations she has.
Wow. The Lawrence name really does carry a terrible reputation.
Because I don't know how to converse with anybody. They're still trying to play this whole victimhood complex.
Never mind him. I could have predicted as much. Let's find someone else.
Maybe even you don't know how to handle your own family's value, and you're trying to put it on somebody else, and it's giving people mixed signals. Oh God! Where's our next victim? I can't believe I have to say that. But what the hell? Who's gonna walk away?
You there, lowly toiler. You stand in the presence of a member of the illustrious Lawrence clan. I have words for you. Please acknowledge the glory bestowed upon thee by the nobility, and solemnly kneel to the ground with utmost sincerity.
He's like, no, damn it, not this again.
Huh? Why don't you respond? According to the custom, I must wait until you kneel completely before I can say the next words. Right. I mustn't look at you too long, or I'll be drawing more attention to our difference in status. Oh dear, I've already stared at you for quite a while. Fine. You may spare yourself the formality of kneeling, as it may be a little inconvenient. I shall continue. Oh, wait. I think there's a line for people with rude attitudes in this situation.
You have no idea what you're doing.
Hey, stop bothering me or else I might say something you wouldn't like to hear. And again, I've got no words for anyone from the Lawrence clan.
Again? What's with this attitude?
Maybe they don't understand. Maybe it's just this idea of everybody in Mondstadt has this underlying idea of equality, and you're like, Eula's like, equality doesn't matter. You're below me. What do you have to say to that? So, yeah.
Yes, I don't think his attitude will change. If I keep grandstanding like this, the outcome won't be good. Let's try to find someone else to talk to.
Maybe give up the language.
I'll remember your unwillingness to comply. Mark my words, vengeance will be mine.
Right, anybody you try to talk to, you're gonna have vengeance. You're just gonna find every excuse to be offended. Oh, God. Okay. Is this one gonna be any different? You look different. Maybe you'll have a different outcome with you.
You there, lowly worker.
Yeah, I've already heard it all before. Look, just spare me the time. Our answer's always the same. We've got nothing to say to the likes of you. I mean, seriously, can't you just take a hint?
I don't think they can.
Please calm down. We don't want to cause any trouble.
I know she's a knight of Favonius, and that the knights wouldn't misplace their trust, but the name Lawrence carries too much weight with it. Even to this very day, the descendants of the Lawrence clan are still scheming to reclaim Mondstadt and reinstate their aristocratic rule. And if that wasn't enough, here you are purposefully using their awkward way of speaking just to put on an act? Don't you care for the feelings of us ordinary folk?
Yeah, again, the purpose of equality is brought here, because it's always a one-sided thing.
You have a point.
Now you're starting to have a moment of reflection.
But mark my words, this transgression will not go unnoticed.
What transgression? He made a point. He was right. How could you be offended to that which is right?
Huh? You want to fight? Listen here, I may be no match for you, but I'll be sure to lodge a complaint with the Knights of Favonius. I'm sorry, but I want her to understand that I'm serious.
I'm pretty sure she knows that everybody else is serious. It's just that she's constantly trying to look up to the ideals of her family, and that's kind of debilitating right then and there.
Listen here, if you don't want things to get more unpleasant, then you'd better just stop.
Agreed.
Forget it. There's no point in quarreling any further. Let's go.
There's no point in actually convincing your father, because everyone your father would address is lower than him. Okay.
It's alright. This happens quite often. Let's find someone else to talk to.
Do you honestly think there's gonna be somebody who won't talk the same way? Or who will talk the same way? Or just you're gonna expect everybody to be the same?
Paimon thinks we've seen enough now. Let's just stop.
Yeah, let's stop pissing off everybody.
Actually, Paimon thinks we should apologize for asking you to demonstrate for us. We had no idea the feelings between the Lawrence clan and the people of Mondstadt were so bitter.
What can we do? The Lawrence name is already a dirty word among every household in Mondstadt. Even 3-year-olds know the story. I see this kind of attitude all the time.
Somehow you still managed to brush it off with a laugh.
Don't worry. What with me being a Knight of Favonius, they're usually willing to speak a few words with me.
Yeah, because they think you're a double agent and not too much like your uncle.
Perhaps my aristocratic manner of speech provoked them today. Believe me, it's not a big issue.
Maybe leave the aristocratic thing. And I know it's like we're trying to use you to get help with your uncle, but at the same time, I feel like in the end we're just gonna convince the aristocrat to just give up the whole hierarchy thing.
So this is the way things are normally for you? There's no need for them to direct their anger at you personally.
That's the way things are. Perhaps it's just fate for those who have made mistakes. Accepting punishment is only fair, right? But when your family has committed atrocities, I'm afraid there's no easy path to reconciliation.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you need to continue the language of said atrocities.
As memories are carried in the city breeze, the faults of such grievances are passed from one generation to the next. It is now my turn to bear this burden.
Maybe not.
At least I have a means of living a relatively normal life compared to the elders of my family. I have nothing to be discontented about.
If being yelled at by everybody is normal for you, then I don't know what to say about that. That's not normal for everybody else. You knew that all along you'd encounter these kind of problems?
Yeah! Why were you so willing to try and demonstrate for us?
Because she wants to live up to her family name.
Oh, that reminds me. That last person will not escape my vengeance either. Let's leave it at that. Just think of it as something I like to do.
And you barely answered that question aside from it's something I like to do.
But unfortunately, you probably didn't learn much from those conversations. It seems we have no other choice but to find more people to talk to.
Oh god, more victims.
No need! Besides, the Traveler's pretty sharp, and nothing gets in our way on an adventure. Paimon thinks we got the gist of it now, right? Right?
Yes.
We'll just have to roll with it for now. Let's just keep Eula from getting anyone else riled up.
Well then, I'm glad you learned something. You're already halfway toward mastering aristocratic conduct.
Dear God. Is wanting to avoid it.
A proper manner of speech is more aesthetic than anything else. It stems from their taste for refinement.
Even if you wanted to have this whole language of hierarchy, that's not the way to go about it. You don't, like, tell people they're less than you and then expect them to grovel at your feet. That's not how it works. If you want to have the upper hand, it would be already in a place of combat, so that the aristocratic language is a language of combat, more so than status and hierarchy.
But we must also practice your bearing.
Oh god.
I have a very effective way of training for this. Come with me to Dragonspine.
Okay. Why, Eula, why?
It's so cold. Does aristocrat training really need to be done here?
Nah, that's just something Eula does.
If you wish to truly achieve the dignified conduct of an aristocrat, you must learn to remain composed and elegant even amidst harsh conditions.
Do we really need the harsh conditions part? Like, I understand we're using the physical cold environment as an example for social cues and how to remain calm, but like, I don't know if that's like an idea that should go.
For example, you can see that part of the path up ahead is quite difficult to traverse, but a well-trained aristocrat would not only effortlessly proceed forward, but do so without a stain on their garment and their elegance fully intact.
In other words, you must remain perfect.
Paimon thinks we've left the realm of aristocrats and entered the realm of adventuring.
Exactly.
Compared to what we've already seen, this should be a piece of cake.
I'm used to this kind of challenge because it's all combat, or almost all.
Uh-huh. This is where you can finally apply some of your adventuring knowledge.
You look pretty confident this time.
Yes, we've done this before. It's not aristocrats, it's more like handling hard things.
All right, let's get started. Remember, you must be graceful and elegant. Don't get knocked or launched into the air. That would be most unsightly.
I'm pretty sure I get knocked elsewhere here and there, but sure, why not? Reach your objective without being launched or taking damage. Oh god. 51. Yep. Oh god, obstacle course. Uh-oh. And I got unsightly. Dang it. Talk to Eula.
Not bad. A lot better than I had anticipated, at least.
Except one of those things exploded on me.
Paimon almost didn't make it through. Good thing we didn't get stuck. So, are we aristocrats now?
Aristocrats.
Don't flatter yourselves. We've only just begun.
Begun what?
The scenario was relatively simple. In the face of a real battle, one would seldom have a chance to stop and evaluate.
Okay. There's your value of the situation.
There's a ley line monolith just up ahead that will attract nearby monsters. True elegance is the ability to calmly yet swiftly make decisions in the heat of battle. My family set only the highest expectations for me, even as a child.
I feel like there's something else there with the expectations.
Let's proceed, shall we?
God. But I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
This is the ley line monolith. Go ahead, activate it.
Okay.
But be careful not to get launched into the air or frozen while fighting. That
Yep.
would be most unsightly.
Come on. In. Nope. Nope.
Emerge, right here.
Come on, I've handled electric stuff. I ain't getting frozen or launched.
Right now, emerge.
Come on. Okay.
Starfall!
Don't get launched.
Steady as stone, as a dutiful maid would.
Come on.
Right now.
Yep.
Emerge, right here.
Okay, there you go.
Crumble apart!
You
Didn't get
failed
launched.
this time.
And I failed.
Eventually.
Failed that last one. Done. There we go. I didn't get frozen or launched.
Well done. Your performance was most impressive. And you managed to remain calm even in these grueling dragon spine surroundings. I'm starting to wonder if even I could have done the same.
And yet you put us up to the challenge.
Given such an outstanding performance, it seems there is little left for me to teach you.
So in other words, you want... Oh god. It's like... I feel like it's training to not react to things. It's a non-reaction training.
Like Paimon said, adventuring is our specialty.
Adventuring is usually traveling to somewhere new and enduring harsh conditions. That's more like a physical thing. I think the etiquette that Eula is trying to teach is more of a social thing.
So, that's it for our training, right? Then let's get out of Dragonspine before Paimon turns into a popsicle.
We're not done. Also, Hilly Troll at the top left there.
Hold on. I was commending the Traveler's performance just now. You, on the other hand, seem to have made no progress at all.
What? You mean Paimon was also part of the training?
Yes, of course. You were frantically flying and dashing about throughout the entire thing. Not an elegant sight at all.
How's that not elegant?
Did you even listen to anything I was trying to teach you?
Maybe that's just Paimon's style.
Hey! That's not true! Paimon was just focusing on you the whole time!
Whatever the reason, not heeding my instructions. A cause for vengeance, perhaps.
Oh, for the love of God.
Now, drink this.
Oh God, what is it?
What is it? Are you trying to poison Paimon?
Certainly not. It's warm milk. Didn't you just say that you were freezing? Drink it and it'll help warm you up.
Oh, thank you. Are you still planning on the whole vengeance thing?
No, she's just saying that to everybody because it's part of her. It's part of the training she was given. It almost makes me wonder, like, it makes everybody wonder whether she's serious or not, and that's the whole little non-reactive part.
If I wasn't, then why would I care about you being cold? If you turned into a Paimon popsicle, that would ruin my plans for vengeance now, wouldn't it?
Right, you're still trying to make people think you're serious even when you've taken conditions that make people think you're not.
So, dear friend, don't die on me out here.
Really, someone who's close but not close.
Paimon something was off.
Thank you for looking after Paimon.
All in the name of vengeance. No need to thank me. Now then, given that your training is complete, it's time we return to Mondstadt. Our last step will be preparing a cordial gift to present to my uncle when you meet him.
Oh, God.
I already have something in mind. Let's pay Sarah a visit at Good Hunter.
Okay. What could it possibly be? Also, there's Amber. Okay.
Oh, hey, Eula. I see you've met the honorary knight.
Yes. You have. Obvious statement is obvious.
We meet again, Amber. Seems we're just bound to run into you these days.
Yes.
Well, I
because
just got
reason.
back and was thinking about grabbing a bite at Good Hunter. But now that you're here, why don't we all eat together?
Okay.
Very well. It's been some time since we've last shared a meal together. Come, take a seat. We can discuss my uncle's gift while we eat.
Okay. Also, it rhymed. Something you newly at the table.
Yes. Is there something else you'd like to order? Could you please prepare a serving of my uncle's favorite, gebratenes Fleisch mit Sauerkraut? We'll take it as a gift to him later.
The fact that it's a German dish, I really wonder.
Coming right up. It'll take some time to prepare. I'll have it here at the counter once it's ready.
Also, all the portions and everything are super big.
Hold on a moment. Is this satisfying salad also something that Amber ordered?
No, she didn't order it. But because she didn't order any vegetables, I thought I'd throw in a salad on the house. You know, to contrast all the meat dishes.
She doesn't like contrast.
So, we clearly didn't order this. Yet you prepared it without authorization. Mark my words, this transgression will not go unnoticed.
You're gonna take revenge on her for giving us a free salad?
Dear God, why?
You should know me by now. That's the kind of villainous character I am.
Really?
Well then, please wait a moment while I get the dish for your uncle started.
Delicious unauthorized delicacies. Sarah will pay for this.
Even though it's free?
Why would you choose gebratenes Fleisch mit Sauerkraut as a gift for your uncle? Paimon's never even heard that dish before.
Sounds German. Which I really wonder... Like, I know Mondstadt is based off of Germany and some places in Europe. But, like, it kind of implies a certain history. And also, I'm wondering if the whole quest is like an allusion to Germans' history after World War II.
This dish isn't actually on Good Hunter's menu. Only long-standing patrons such as my uncle would know about the dish. The old aristocrats seem to take a liking to it.
Yeah, but when I first looked at Eula and Schubert, I didn't think of Germany after World War II. I literally thought of a whole other situation we'll explain later.
Because of the sour flavor of the sauerkraut, not too many people are fond of it these days. I guess it's become less popular over time. Eula treated me to the dish once, and I couldn't even finish a bite. I've nicknamed it gebratenes Fleisch mit Vengeance ever since. Ugh.
I never expected us to have such completely different tastes in food. If I weren't in such a good mood, I'd say that constitutes grounds for transgression.
Everything constitutes grounds for transgression. Everything is against you.
Of course not. It's hard to find someone in Mondstadt that attracts contempt as much as she does.
It's fine when you're just joking between us, but I'm afraid our honorary knight might misunderstand you. Eula's always talking about vengeance, but that's just how she is. It's nothing you should take too seriously.
I know, but it's like... I know it's a joke, but to me, a joke is only good the first time. And, like, hearing it a second time, like, okay, it's not funny the second time, so... what?
But I am serious. And I'll remember every transgression committed against me. Ugh, it's no wonder so many people dislike you.
My God. I can't tell if you're projecting or you're literally trying to play it both ways. You're called out for being serious, I'm joking. You're called out for joking, I'm actually serious. It's like people can't be on the same page with you.
Paimon's starting to realize that Eula is actually a very good person.
She is, but just not in the same way her father is. That's the conundrum here.
There's no need to be so awkward when you want to say something nice.
Listen, you've never been labeled as a social pariah, have you?
I have, but not every scenario has to go into that.
Well, no?
So that's why you wouldn't understand how hard it is for a bad person to try to be good. It's impossible for me, and I have no intention of acting like a good person.
It is possible, and the fact that you have no intention, you just need to find the intention to be a good person. But even that is a whole other thing right there.
Alright, no need to look so sullen. I'm just kidding. Come on, let's eat. The food is getting cold.
Okay. After a pause, everyone resumes cheerfully chatting and enjoys the meal.
Oh, I am stuffed. I'll see Sarah about the bill.
No need. I've left the mora under the plate. If you try to settle it with her in person, she won't accept payment for the salad. Don't underestimate my ability to exact revenge. Sarah won't get the upper hand this time.
If Eula pulls out a whip, then I'll know it's a Von Karma reference.
Alright. Next you should pay my uncle a visit. He has a small camp at the top of the mountain near Springvale. He usually whiles his time away there when there's nothing else to do.
Aren't you coming with us, Eula?
I'm afraid that wouldn't be very convenient for me. It'd be better if you two went alone.
Oh god, you want us to handle your uncle?
Ah, yes. Please do remember to make up the dish from Sarah.
I still have more recon to do in the wilderness. Well,
let's meet again. What an interesting bunch you are.
Yes, it's called diversity and things that are not related to hierarchy. Get the whatever the hell it is.
Here,
Okay.
the gebratenes Fleischmitz sauerkraut is ready to go. Be sure to eat it while it's hot. Otherwise, the flavor will be spoiled.
What the hell is a gebratenes Fleischmitz sauerkraut? Like, what does it mean in German?
And by the way, don't worry too much when Eula says strange things. She's actually a very good person.
Like, I guess she's a good person, but would a good person... Like, I know I'm getting into character and language here. But, like, she kind of needs to learn to adapt here and there.
Paimon's been meaning to ask. No one could stand the sight of Eula when she was trying to speak with the others in Mondstadt earlier. But she seemed to get along fine with you and Amber just now. What's up with that?
Because Amber and Sarah do not react to her.
The people of Mondstadt don't take kindly to anyone bearing the Lawrence name.
And that.
They're unable to see past her family, therefore they don't actually see Eula for herself.
Like, I gotta understand that the family is messed up and Mondstadt can be messed up at the same time. But at the same time, screw it.
So no matter what Eula tries to do, it's seen as a wrongdoing. It essentially strips the meaning of anything she tries to accomplish.
The family name as being a hindrance? Yeah, but here's the thing. People associate the language of what she's doing with the family name. If she could just talk normally to everybody else, they wouldn't think it's a family name. People do connect with others that try to speak the same language as you, so it's more of a language issue, not a family name issue.
How come you're able to see Eula differently then?
Because she doesn't look at the name, she looks at the person behind the name.
Well, when she joined the Knights of Favonius, it caused quite an uproar. Many people signed a petition demanding that the Knights reverse their decision. At the same time, numerous members of the Lawrence clan crowded the entrance of the Knights of Favonius headquarters, clamoring for Eula to give an explanation.
Whoa, so both sides were unhappy.
Yep.
That's right. So you can imagine how determined Eula must have been under such circumstances. But thanks to Grandmaster Varka and the unwavering attitudes of others in the Knights of Favonius, they were able to quell the unrest. Tensions still remain beneath the surface, I'm afraid.
Because a lot of people still look at the Lawrence family name in the most messed up ways possible.
In the eyes of the people, she's a stain on the Knights of Favonius. And in the eyes of the Lawrence clan, she's a disgrace to her family.
There it is!
But she simply fulfills her duty as a knight, silently helping one person after another, myself included.
Because everybody looks at group affiliations rather than just the people themselves. That's kind of Mondstadt's problem, and everybody else's, including the Knights in the Lawrence clan.
People like Eula should be approached with care and understanding. She could stand to be treated a little more fairly.
If it goes both ways, then I'll agree with you a little more.
I I believe a day will come when things will get better.
Once everything's settled, we should go talk to Eula again. Paimon thinks we know how to communicate with her now.
Okay.
I'm glad. I think that would make her very happy, though she might not ever admit it.
Agreed.
Take care. Please come again.
Okay. Alright, let's finish this up. Oop. Yep. You! Now I can talk to you.
That seems to be pretty tattered, but there's a really fancy chip. Could this be another aristocratic custom?
Ah, it's you again. I thought I had rid myself of you two.
Heard that aristocrats are most magnanimous. Please, if I may be so bold as I say a few humble words.
A few humble words, huh? Yes, that sounds appropriate enough. Very well. I'm certainly not one to be narrow-minded. I'll overlook your previous misconduct for now and listen to what you have to say.
Wow, this guy thinks so highly of himself.
It's an honor to stand before you, immersed in supreme brilliance.
It appears I have misjudged you. Supreme brilliance. The glory of the nobility that continues to this day. A true loyalist. Impressive. My intentions were to test your humility. It appears you have become well-versed in our etiquette.
Oh, so he was testing us. Sheesh, what an ordeal.
Your conduct is satisfactory. I must say, such progress in such a short time is practically unfathomable. If I may ask, from whence did you learn such a civilized manner of speech?
Fortunate enough to, from the knowledge of a dear friend, I refine my conduct. I was fortunate enough to benefit from the knowledge of a dear friend.
Ah, good. Very good. You are bright. And compared with the common folk of Mondstadt, you certainly have potential. If you were of aristocratic blood, your prospects would be promising indeed.
By the way, we brought a gift. Paimon means we would like to present you with...
Could this be? Gebratenes Fleisch mit Sauerkraut?
Yes.
It's evident that your sentiment is genuine. As a young person nowadays, only with no small effort could you achieve such a dish.
Does that mean you're going to give me the recipe for it?
It's been so long since I dug into a big, tasty... I beg your pardon. What I mean to say is, since it's nearly mealtime, I shall partake.
Okay. There you go. Now you're gonna be more open.
Ah, yes. This aroma, just as I remember it. And this exquisite sour flavor. A delicacy that only us noblemen and women could appreciate.
Not noble women.
Now even Paimon's starting to wonder what it tastes like.
I acknowledge your genuine goodwill. Such sincerity must certainly imply that you come bearing a request.
It seems that there's word that Luan's family has grand scheme of sorts.
Wait, so you've come to know of this, too? It was meant to be a family secret.
I would like to know what I could do for the nobility.
Well, considering your meticulous etiquette, you must be a talent of unusual fortitude. I'm willing to place my full trust in you.
Really? Just like that?
Please, come with me. We happen to be in need of competent fellows like yourself to see some friends from a distant land. They have offered their assistance in restoring the Lawrence clan to its former glory.
Now we're finally getting somewhere.
So he trusts us solely based on your etiquette.
I need to be extremely careful with this one.
Well then, let's get going, shall we? You'll understand everything in due course.
Do you think his friends are the Fatui? Things will get sticky if the Fatui happen to recognize you. What should we do?
Thinking. Wait, can I? Nah, screw it, just run. Okay. Behind enemy lines. Ooh. Behind enemy ley lines. Alright, what are we gonna need? Hydro and Cryo. Wonder who his friends are. Huh. Alright, Hydro and Cryo. I need a Cryo. Don't want to work on Kaya. Worked on Kaya too long. Eula? Yeah, maybe. Or Rosaria, why not?
Sooner we're done, the better.
Okay. We're done. I gotta pull out Rosaria every once in a while.
Why have you put on a mask all of a sudden?
It is proper for aristocrats, so it is only proper.
Even if they are powerful, our status is much higher than theirs in the land of Mondstadt. And therefore, we shouldn't allow them to admire our true faces so easily. I see.
I'm not sure if that's something that should be there, but go with it.
Good thinking. Paimon thought for sure they'd recognize us.
Let's proceed, shall we? I'll introduce you as my guest.
Time to go Batman in on this. I'll introduce you.
As you'll see in a moment, there are many already helping us. I heard that this area had already been purged once by the Knights of Favonius, but it's the only place around Mondstadt that is well concealed and spacious enough. Although it has fallen into disrepair and does not suit the tastes of the nobility, we simply have to make do for now.
Sorry, can we walk any faster?
Of course not. An aristocrat always moves with grace in his steps. Moving hurriedly is unacceptable.
Okay.
As expected, it's the Fatui!
As expected?
Because we always see them around the city. They must be very powerful.
Okay.
Nothing more than foreign ruffians with power and the ability to flaunt it. But they are favorable.
Hold it right there. Who's this?
If you really must know, they're my guests. If you happen to offend them in even the slightest, then you will be held accountable by the Lawrence Club.
But this matter is of utmost secrecy. We must exercise caution.
You dare question the ways of a nobleman? I don't have time for this. Make way.
No need to sound all high and mighty like that. Fine. You may proceed.
Emotions to the heart.
They don't dare to question you.
Of course. That is the benefit of prestige. In past times, it would be a dire offense to speak to a nobleman in such a manner. We could determine a person's fate with the blink of an eye. And such glory will return to me again before long.
Where have I seen this person before?
Ooh, has Sergei seen us?
And who, may I ask, is this? We mustn't bring just anyone in here.
This is our new ally that I've recently met. They are completely trustworthy. You have the word of the Lawrence clan.
Okay.
Our plans are strictly confidential. It's not wise to bring in an outsider at this time.
Really?
Furthermore, there's been word that an outlander who joined the Knights of Favonius has been very active in Mondstadt recently.
Don't be ridiculous. Besides, my guest is well versed in the etiquette of the nobility. I must treat them with the proper mutual respect. The Knights of Favonius pay no regard to such details. They could never understand the intricacies of our etiquette.
And what about this thing?
Paimon as a thing.
You mean Paimon?
Enough! You dare question my word? Need I remind you who it is who has made your activity in Mondstadt possible? Without the support of the Lawrence clan, you would have all been driven out by the Knights of Favonius like dogs. You must immediately offer your sincerest apologies to my friend. You've offended their honor.
Fine. I'll take your word and make no further inquiries. Now, to the matter at hand. Did you bring the diagram of Mondstadt's defenses as promised?
No one recognizes Paimon. Oh god.
So that's what's going on here.
The diagram? Wait, what? The diagram of Mondstadt's defenses is...
Yes, of course. Here it is.
Really?
Let me see. Why is it so poorly drawn?
Excuse me? I'll have you know that I went to great lengths to carefully draw this map by hand myself. That shape is the symbol of the Knights of Favonius.
Ah, I see. Crude, but I can make do. Are you able to verify that this is all reliable information?
Interesting how he's just really selling out to everybody, or especially Fatui, so readily for glory.
Of course, you needn't worry about that. Don't forget what we agreed upon. The flag of the Lawrence clan will fly above the Knights of Favonius head. The rights to that building, as well as the whole of Mondstadt, belong to the Lawrence clan.
Yes, we will both profit from this agreement. There's no use haggling over the details. We will make good use of the intel you provided. Also, be certain not to divulge our identity. There would be diplomatic consequences, you know.
I don't think anybody is divulging their identity except for Paimon, maybe Schubert.
Don't worry, this matter is only between you and I. And my new friend here. No one else will know of it.
And Paimon. Somehow Paimon's not being mentioned here.
Once this is over, I shall stand atop the Favonius headquarters and rebuke their pathetic rule over Mondstadt. Then, the city and all its people will once again be under the rightful and unwavering rule of the Lawrence clan.
Right.
Perfect. Just as it once was, and just as it should be.
You definitely sound like Retcon from Rick and Morty.
May I remind you once again that we mustn't act rashly.
Okay.
Very well.
Huh? What are you doing?
No need to keep up the appearances.
That's right! It's the honorary knight and their trusty companion, Paimon! We're here to crush your evil schemes into dust!
I think they got
So
the message.
this was all just a ploy to deceive me!
Yeah.
It's your own fault! Who would put so much trust in someone based purely on their manners?
After so much planning, this is how it ends? Huh? We'll see about that!
You just want to go back to the same old. Really?
Just as I expected. I knew I should have never trusted these foolish aristocrats. No matter, we already have the intel we need. Get them!
Ooh.
They're running off in different directions.
Keep the
Everyone
Fatui.
remembers that this place is a dead end. Let's take care of the Fatui
Come on.
first and then deal with Schubert later.
Come on. Get in there and freeze everybody. Here we go. Dang it. I got this. I can handle this. Swiftly. Ooh, you thunder punched me. Crap.
Right now, right here.
God, I can barely see what's going on.
You can't run. Yeah.
Come on.
Emerge.
Grab.
Dear
Now
me.
launch.
Right here. Emerge.
Come on. There we go. Yes, again.
Ready, steady, go! Oh no! Hey.
Come on. I really gotta upgrade Barb at some point. And I got smashed. Okay. Let's try it again without getting hit too hard.
Right now, right here. Emerge.
Up. Yep. Whoop. Ow. Uh-oh. That almost screwed me up so bad.
Nothing lasts forever.
I almost screwed up so bad. So bad. Use crypto on Metro. Or crypto? Cryo. Okay. What? I thought, like, did I read that wrong? No, I didn't read that wrong.
Lights out.
Lights out.
Yeah.
Let the show
I'm gonna
begin.
use frickin' Hydro on this one. Use crypto. It's just like John Wick from Epic Rap Battle. Crypto coin? No. Hit coin? Certainly. Oh god. Alright, fine. Alright, your phone's screwed up. I'll give you that, Patrick. Ugh. Thought you're having a weird Epic Rap Battle John Wick moment. I don't think you know about that, but I'll leave it at that. Alright, smash and pass. There we go. There's Eula.
Is that Eula?
Yes, it is.
Don't touch me! Get out of my way! I'll leave on my own!
No.
It seems we finally caught up with you. This place is crawling with Fatui. Oh, it's you. It seems your investigation went well.
Things processed more faster than we anticipated.
Aha! I see now. So you're the one that taught them our etiquette. And I thought you despised such pleasantries.
Yeah, well, she can only lie to herself for so long before trusting somebody else to finally do the right thing.
Furthermore, there is a rule in our family. Such traditions are never to be taught to outsiders.
Ah, yes. Rings a bell. So what? I had no reason not to teach them.
But she wanted to, because there was an intrinsic motivation to it. And that's the biggest difference between extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic, where you do it because of money and titles. Intrinsic, because you have the inner desire to do it.
You have brought shame to our family and ruined my plans. It's all for naught now.
Yeah.
I know that you poured great efforts into these plans, Uncle. But you are well aware that it was not the right thing to do. As a Knight of Favonius, I could not overlook your actions.
Knight of Favonius? Let's get one thing straight. I am your uncle, and you are a member of the Lawrence clan. You should strive to restore your family's glory.
Such is the fate of a double agent, to choose one over the other.
You still have a chance. Defeat every Knight of Favonius here, and leave with me. Then I shall plead with the family to spare you, and give you a new beginning.
So just to be clear, you want a Knight of Favonius to attack the Knights of Favonius?
I shall say this one last time. You are not a Knight of Favonius. You are a descendant of the Lawrence clan. The blood of the Lawrence clan flows in your veins. You must comply with the will of the family.
And if she doesn't?
Since when have I ever complied with the will of the family?
Why, you unruly maid!
If anyone should be angry, it should be me. As a member of the Lawrence clan, you knowingly plotted against the city of Mondstadt and threatened its safety. Had you ever stopped to consider the trouble it would bring to so many people? Had you considered how many enemies you would make, trying to keep the plans under wraps?
You dare lecture me!
That's right. In the name of the family that you so dearly revere, Uncle Schubert, I've never experienced the age of glory you always speak of. And I've never understood our family's incessant pursuit of it. But I am capable of discerning right from wrong. And I deeply understand what freedom means to the people of Mondstadt. The Lawrence clan should never and will never become what you've dreamed it to be.
Oh, the disgrace of it all! How could such a rebellious monster emerge from our own family?
Because no matter how much you want to be nepotistic, and what I mean by that is only controlling family members to be part of a system, even family members can turn on you, the nation of freedom.
Things are starting to get pretty hysterical here. Politeness and elegance seem to have gone out the window.
Yeah. That's what happens. Because sometimes the truth can be too goddamn rude. And sometimes the truth is way more important than politeness.
That's enough fuss for today. You two, take him away. The honorary knight and I have other matters to attend to. Given that you've already taken action, I assume you've come across some conclusive evidence?
The Fatui position of diagram, on-site defenses, they still have got city plans.
Paimon took a peek at their diagram. Your uncle had mapped out all of the Knight's patrol routes and marked out key information about Mondstadt.
And there was me thinking that he was just another elder of the family. And a lazy one at that. I never suspected he could stoop this low. So stubborn. Mark my words, vengeance will be mine.
Well, at least this time it'll be brought about in the proper place.
Let's discuss this later. Our first priority is recovering that diagram.
Okay. So now, why are the Faith even allowed to go anywhere? At this point, Fatui is the Faith. Alright, fine. God dang phone! Alright, Patrick, I'll give you that. Why the Fatui allowed to go anywhere? Oop! Dang it! Liar! Okay. How am I gonna... Oh, well, that's how I handle it. There we go. Run right across. Now I get to play as Eula this time! And to go even further.
A few moments later.
There we go. Or just jump right across. There we go. Jump right across.
They're here! Stop them!
Frozen sword of the aristocratic family. Bring forth your cold blade. Now that's how you get it done.
Yeah, beg for mercy.
Beg for mercy. Says the mercy giver. Dang. Eula hits hard. Yeah. There we go, go deeper. Get the plans before it's being carried out. Dang. Ooh, here we go.
Crush!
Come on, up!
You can't run!
Actually, I can.
Shudder!
Shut up! Despite her being, higher class, at least she has one redeeming quality. Shut up!
Looks like I went too far.
She gets along with me.
This is trouble.
There we go.
I'll protect us.
Over here.
This one's well done.
Smack. Get. Smack.
Crush!
Oh, you're not. Oh, dang, you're not.
Hi.
Come on.
Shudder!
Shudder. And shut up. There we go. Got ya. And now to deal with one more.
Beg for mercy.
Starfall! Ha!
Oh, I didn't realize there was two.
Shudder!
Shiver!
Oh, yeah.
Vengeance will be mine.
Dang. You got a cutscene there.
Crush!
Come on. Nice. There we go. Okay, these characters are good when they're definitely in combat. Especially when they're not giving anybody a hard
Beg for
time.
mercy.
Oop. Come on. Yep. Yep, there we go. Go deeper. In there. Alright, moving on. Get. Shudder. And shiver. Yep.
Shudder!
There we go. Here we go. No. Okay, now we can go.
That's where they put the diagram!
Wait, how can you tell from all the way back there? Oop!
I guess there's no other option but to fight.
Yeah. Pretty much. Ooh, you guys, younglings, ooh.
Crush!
You dare provoke me!
I'll grab this more of them.
Come forth and dispose of them!
I can see you. I can see you when you're wet.
Crumble apart!
I can see you when you're invisible. I can still get you.
Starfall!
Come on.
I'm always watching. Drop!
Get. Surgey. We meet again. This time I'm gonna use Eula to smack everybody so damn hard for 2 incoming. Come on, hit you harder than the other guys can get over here. There we go. Boom. I got you. Oop,
right here, right now. You can't run!
Pretty much. Where did you go? Where the hell? Oh, there you are.
Flood of frost!
Ooh.
Yeah!
There we go! I smacked you all to smithereens.
This must be it. They may very well have already made a copy of it.
This may be a cliché.
But without my uncle as their puppet, there'd be no use in them attacking the city.
The Fatui wouldn't have relied only on your uncle.
True. But if their plan had hinged purely on taking Mondstadt by force, as opposed to with the help of a puppet, they could have spared themselves the trouble. The Fatui are dishonest, but they wouldn't go as far as to start an open war. Their opposition wouldn't just be Mondstadt alone.
It would be other places around the world as well.
Anyway, I'll inform the acting Grandmaster. She'll know how to handle things from here.
Yeah! You suddenly appeared at just the right moment!
Yeah, about that. Because you stole my targets by attacking the Fatui I'd been tracking earlier.
Are you gonna hold vengeance against me this time again?
I came to exact my vengeance. You tried to do my job for me, and I'm here to return the favor.
So getting the dagger and Mondstadt defenses was your way of exacting vengeance?
Finally! After all this time, Paimon understands what you're saying!
You just wanted to say, you did my job for me, now it's time I do my job for me.
In reality, you sensed that something might happen to us during our investigation. You were worried about us and your uncle, so you brought a team to take a look.
My purpose was vengeance. Don't twist the story.
She just wanted to do the job herself.
You don't look too bright, but it turns out you have a knack for scheming.
You're one to talk.
And mark my words, I'll remember that.
Considering the fact that you marked your own words, I'm sure you'll remember that.
Hey! What do you mean Paimon doesn't look too bright?
Paimon is many things, I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, Paimon is too enigmatic for me to simplify at this point.
You have seeded a deep enmity between us. Just you wait.
So is she still following her father's words, or is she doing it on her own?
Even if you were to be completely destroyed, I would never forget you.
Does that make us your arch enemies?
Bring it on!
I like your fighting spirit. I'll take this diagram back to the Knights of Favonius and take it from here.
Sure. Well, see you around.
That you will. And make sure not to steal my targets next time.
Okay. There we go! We finally finished the Eula story quest. Oh, God! Ugh. Finally!